Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have a moment of silent meditation. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda and minutes from the February 23rd agenda and the minutes from the January 26th meeting? I'll make a motion. I'll second. All those in favor? Aye. And then the principal's report and celebrating success.
I'll go ahead. Let's start with celebrating success. We'll do kindergarten first, and then we have third grade here also. Kindergarten, we have, I'm going to just say all three of their names, and you probably can see it. We have Miss Ruby here this evening. We have Gunnar here this evening. And we have Mr. Ben here this evening. So, Mr. Ruby, you want to come up here? And then your teachers will say just a little bit about you. I'm not allowed to call him Benny Boo. He will correct me every time it's actually Ben.
Over here, we'll start with you, is that okay? Okay. Alright, this is Benny Boo. Benny is somebody I can always count on. When I ask for helpers, his hand shoots up right away. When a friend needs support, Ben is quick there to help. He listens carefully, tries his best always, and comes to school eager to learn each day. One of my favorite things about him is how bright and creative he is, and I'm so lucky to share this year with him.
No.
David. He always follows directions, makes good choices, and is such an amazing friend to everybody. He has improved so much this year academically, and I'm so excited to continue to watch him grow. He works very hard, stays focused, and always tries his best, and I'm so thankful he is a part of our class.
Well, the character trait was trust that I picked Ruby for. When she comes in the morning, I can trust that she is going to sit down and do her morning work. Anytime she's doing anything for me in the classroom, I can trust that she is doing her best because she always tries her best. And if I ever have to ask her anything, I can always trust that she's going to be honest with me about it. So that's why I picked Ruby for trust.
Ben, your mom said be good smile. So let's get you ready.
There you go.
1, 2, 3. Good smile. That's the best we got, Mom. Thank you, guys. Okay. Just in time. No, it's okay. Come on in. Next, we have third grade up, and we have Mr. Rebel in the back and Autumn that's just walking in. So I'll bring both of you up with your teachers. Yep.
I nominated my student Autumn Davis for exhibiting joy in the classroom. Autumn has a very fun sense of humor. She knows how to make her teachers and classmates laugh. Her personality is spunky, confident, and at times a little sassy. Autumn is a true joy to have in our third grade class.
And it has been a joy to be Rebel's teacher. I also nominated him for joy because I've never seen a kid after so much joy for life. He would always come in the morning, skipping into class, saying good morning with a big smile. He always did his work the best he could, and even when things were hard, he didn't let it discourage him. He just always did his best. He always tried to make his friends happy, tried to do the best he could in class. And he's grown so much, and I can say it's been a blessing to have him in the 3rd grade.
The first group at the middle school, high school that we'd like to recognize is our FFA group. We have Margot Galloway, who's just such a positive light in our school and just somebody that we talk about it, who loves and cares for her kids and such an example of that. We also have our officers here, Grace, Madison, Lily, and Molly, and Margot's going to talk a little bit about the great things that they're doing in FFA.
So, these are my seniors, and I'm really not sure how we're gonna make it next year, but they've been amazing. So FFA is all about leadership and building those leadership skills, building the confidence to do like creed speaking and parliamentary procedure. It's all about building character. So I have been blessed with having these 4 by my side last year and this year. So this week is FFA week, and we are kicking it off with a bang. Today we did the corn jar guessing. So basically it's just a jar of corn, and you had to guess. The students at lunchtime had to guess how many kernels were in the jar. The winner gets to pie somebody in the face. We aren't sure who that's going to be yet, but tomorrow we have a teacher breakfast. This is just something that we have done for several, I think I even did it when I was in FFA, if I remember correctly. So we just like to honor our teachers and show them that we appreciate them. So we have a big spread of food tomorrow that we will prepare. Wednesday, we have dress-up days every week. Wednesday, we have a dress-up day. Dress your job, yes. What color is your collar? Dress your job. So, and then Thursday, we have arts and crafts with the elementary school that we will be going and doing. This year, they have decided to do just a craft with K through 3. And then 4th and 5th grade will kind of get like a little lesson about tagging and notching ears or pigs. So we tried to throw in a little bit of a lesson this year with it. So they will have a craft that goes along with it, so they'll be able to actually notch their pig's ears. And then Friday we have Ag Olympics. We have Rochambeau, which is rock, paper, scissors, and everybody will have, the students will have on beads. The winner will then, however many beads, whoever has the most beads at the end is going to be our winner. We have masked singer. I have 4 teachers that are going to be masked singers. We have Hungry Hippos, so basically the students will be on scooters and play a little game that way, and
The pie in the face.
the pie in the face. So yeah, so it'll be a fun week, and yeah, and our taco dinner. We'll end it with our taco dinner on Friday. So we're a little busy this week.
The second group that we want to recognize, we've got some coaches here, I think they're going to speak a little bit to the program, that is our wrestling program. And it's a program that's not only done incredibly well with the maps, but when you're around that program, you're going to practices, you're going to meets, they're truly a family, and they do so much together. The coaches have invested so much in the boys and girls, and we're just real proud of not just what they do on the mat, but the leadership that they've shown, the character development that the coaches are doing. Aubrey, of course, we want to recognize for being a state champion. Nick, Hayden, Anthony, and Gunnar are all underclassmen, semi-state this year, so we're really proud. And the program is here to support them, which is so cool to see their teammates. And I'll leave it to you two if you want to talk a little bit about it.
Did you know that in the last 12 years, Attica Wrestling has had 16 WRC championships, 4 state dual team placements, 28 academic all-state, 57 WRC individual champions, 18 sectional champions, 72 regional appearances, 10 regional champions, 46 semi-state appearances, 1 semi-state champion, 14 state appearances, 8 state placements, 2 state championships, and that's just during our regular season. In our off-season, we have seen 2 Frost-Soft state championships, which is freshman, sophomore state, 1 freshman, sophomore state runner-up, 3 1A, 2A state champions in Aubrey, and she's wanting to get her 4th in a row, 3 1A, 2A state runner-ups, 10 small school, again, 1A, 2A state placements, 2 Indy National champions in Aubrey, 5, counting the 3 that we picked up last night, Indy National placements with Gunnar Payne taking 2nd in a hard-fought match at 10:30 p.m. last night, 1 Indiana Wrestling Association freestyle placer and a freestyle state champion in Aubrey, 1 Greco state champion in Aubrey, 2 USA National Hard Knock placers, which is the hardest tournament in the country for folk style, with Gunnar Payne and Josiah Barnett placing, 1 champion last year from Jocelyn's senior year, and then an overall USA Wrestling folk style national champion in Aubrey, who is currently ranked 2nd in the nation, and has been named yesterday as pound for pound best female wrestler for 25-26 for the state of Indiana. And I want to say that we're just going to keep on building. So you.
I'm glad they get to be recognized in here, all the wrestlers on both sides of me here. Because we threw a lot at them this year. We expect a lot of them. We hold them all to a high standard, and none of them shy away from it. They keep that high standard, hopefully keep getting better in school, out of school, wrestling, everything. But I'm glad you all are here to, I don't want to get a big head, so I'm not going to talk for long. We also have our managers here. I don't know if Hope was here. Is Hope here? Did I miss? Okay. Brooklyn and Aubrey, that were our managers, along with Hope Morse. So thank you all. Good job. Congrats. Give me hate more, I expect to see you over. I'll bring you back here. Come on. We're good.
Just get down in front. There you go. Yeah.
One quick one was the 3 semi-state in Auburn. All right.
We just took a picture? I didn't smile.
Right.
Thank you.
Good job, guys. Thanks for coming. Yes, he's
Mr. Hall. we've had a pretty long month on field trips. We had 4th grade attend Maria for Symphony on the Go. That's a program that the music department goes to every year that coincides with the curriculum inside the classroom that students enjoy going to. One thing that I am very proud is the grant that we received for the elementary school. This has been an initiative for me I was a little jealous of some other elementaries that had started to get these book vending machines. So, of course, pricing and funding was always an obligation, so I had reached out to the Community Foundation and put together a grant. Kind of starting back in August and finalized it, and just heard a couple weeks ago back in January that we received $7,500 for the Community Foundation. That will pay for a majority of this, and then we will pick up the funding on the back half. And we'll be able to sustain it going forward with some of our book fairs and fundraisers for stuff like that. But it is such a fun initiative to put books in children's hands. The books that they receive, they get to keep. And we'll be able to promote positive behavior, leadership, all kinds of fun things, from accelerated reader incentives, birthdays, anything we want. It's based off a token system, so they don't actually pay for the books with actual money. They pay with them for a token. Those tokens can be given out for a variety of reasons and initiatives around the school for kindergarten through, well, preschool through 5th grade, and the books will be aligned for their academic grade level and reading level. So we're crazy excited, and I can't thank the Community Foundation enough. I don't know if Cindy wants to say anything while she's here. I didn't know she was coming tonight, but I'm so excited for this project. It'll be here where I'm in the middle of kind of, it has a wrap on it, so it'll say Attica Ramblers on it, Rambler Reads, stuff like that, and it'll be here hopefully by August to start the new school year out. So, do you want to add anything?
I just want to say, I hope you know how much the whole community, foundation, Main Street, whatever, how much we support the school and, you know, work to make it the place to be. We already feel that it is, but I think this is just another cherry on top, and I'm so proud of the initiative of Andrew and everybody, teachers, all alike, with the effort that you do. So thank you. It was a privilege to be able to work together.
Absolutely, thank you. The last piece that I have on mine is, unfortunately, we can cut the tension with a knife. Down in 2nd and 3rd grade, we have IREAD coming up, which is our big grandiose thing for, of course, why not the week before going into spring break? But we will do that next week. And we've had nothing but prep, and I expect great results. One thing I didn't get to say from last month because of the weather was how much I want to say thank you to welcome back Mrs. G back to 3rd grade, and say thank you to Mrs. Leach. That was maternity, but we have transitioned her into a resource for remediation for IREAD. So she's been working with all of our 2nd and 3rd graders, along with the SPED department and everybody else, and those teachers. But she's been a great resource to have to prep for this IREAD, and then turn into iLearn right afterwards. So, and lastly, I will thank every piece of my staff. This is the long, dreary winter from January to spring break. And we have all felt it, and we're all ready for spring break here in a couple weeks. So I appreciate every piece of them for support from the students to parents to myself. So thank you.
On the middle school and high school side, the first meeting I had with teachers, they did a survey just as far as what they felt like the most important things to address, the needs, the strengths of the community, the strengths of the school, and then areas that we want to get better at. The number one area that teachers identified was student culture and behavioral supports for our kids. And so that's what we've been hitting in PLCs as a large group, and then they'll break out in smaller groups and talk about how that looks on the department side. The teachers have been so supportive and have been coachable and caring for me to come in, mid-semester. I didn't really know what to expect, but the community support and the staff support has just been awesome, and I think that there's already been a lot of positive movement when it comes to the culture of our school. One example of that is we've worked so hard developing staff leaders in our staff meetings that Stacy Mattern and Derek Dean wanted to also do that for students. So the Attica Leadership Institute, which has a number of students that are involved, a lot of underclassmen, because we want to grow them in the system, but not just what excellence looks like from a staff side, but really coaching kids up in the area of leadership. They're jigsawing Inner Excellence by Jim Murphy, a book, talking about it, doing projects around it, which is really, really neat to see that these local kids, high school kids, that are now speaking in front of groups, and they've got a couple politicians lined up for them to spend time with. So it's great to see that leadership development within our school from a couple of just great staff members. So I just couldn't say enough about how the staff has responded and the work that they're putting in to do great things for kids.
Very good. So I don't have any communications from the floor. Any communications from the board? And then the superintendent's items of interest.
So first, I just want to discuss our ADM, which is our student count for our February. So how that works is that the state does a count twice a school year. So typically it is in October and in February. So our count in February was 533 students, which means we're up a few students from our fall count. I went back, obviously we're up from last year. I looked and we're up 23 students from 2 years ago. So I can tell you that we're one of the few school corporations around, not even just the rural areas, but even some of the bigger corporations that is continuing to grow. So for 2 years now in a row, we've had growth at our ADM counts. So that's good news for that. Lastly, I just want to do an update on regarding potential projects. As you know, we have been gathering information regarding potential needs throughout the school corporation, both from an operations fund perspective, as well as potential renovations and improvements. I plan to bring specific information before the board at the March meeting, and I will be publishing a notice so that we can discuss this at our next meeting. That's it. Thank you.
Okay. And then moving on to the report of the superintendent.
So the first item is our bids for our old football field and old elementary school. We did have one bid that was submitted for that. So I'm going to hand that down. It's a sealed bid, so it has not been opened yet, to Lori. So before you open that, I'd like to make a recommendation to review the bids for the old elementary school and old football field.
Make a motion? I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so the process the school board has been involved with in selling the Attica Elementary School and the old sports fields has been a long and complicated one. The school board, in being good stewards of the public's money, has moved through the state law requirements concerning the sale, and at its first written offer opening, found that none of the written offers exceeded the minimum requirements of state law. The school then looked at several different options concerning private-public plans and local interest before deciding to, once again, place the property on the market, specifying the minimum written offer that would be accepted, and they desired to sell both pieces of the property as a single unit. During this process, the elementary school building has shown its age, and the effect of weather on those problems has caused leaking pipes and other destructive properties of a building its age. As a result, the liability and expense of maintaining and keeping the building as a property of the school is obviously not in the best interest of our taxpayers. As a result, we have once again advertised the building for sale, having not found a private-public or even public use for the structure and real estate, and it is our desire to move forward with a use that is at least consistent with the utilization made by the surrounding properties. To that end, we find we have received one written offer and are prepared to open it. It is our intention to review the written offers and make a decision at our next board meeting. The written offers we received tonight will be made available on our website after they are opened. To whom it may concern, I, Kyle Nost, on behalf of KSK Properties, LLC, offer $500,000 to purchase the Attica Elementary School property located at 500 East Washington Street.
containing 2.9 acres plus or minus, and the sports field and structures located at 545 East Washington Street, containing 6.09 acres, all in Attica, Indiana, 47918. I intend to develop the property into a multi-purpose facility with a restaurant, an event center, commercial suites, a hotel, housing, and an outdoor event space. I appreciate your consideration. Kyle Noss. And then there's a proposal.
I can post that. So, I do want to just go into a little bit of detail on that, just for the public, is that building has definitely aged since last year, I can tell you that. I want to thank Dan Goris, our maintenance director. He's put some bandages on some things. We've had some pipes freeze up, some leaking pipes. And I can tell you that we've spent, since that building has closed, just with electricity costs for insurance for the building, right around $65,000. So obviously, we're still utilizing taxpayer-funded money for that, and there's nothing right now that we have in it. So it's a pretty big expense for us. So like I said, it is definitely showing its age. And again, you know, we did this process 2 months ago. At that point, you know, we had 2 bids that totaled $35,000. So obviously, this is a substantial increase from that, and a good way to make sure that we're utilizing our taxpayer money appropriately. On that, I'd like to go to item number 2. I'd like to make a recommendation to approve the corporation treasurer plate claims through the end of February 2026.
Can I get a motion to approve the corporation treasurer to pay claims through the end of February 2026? I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Number 3, I'd like to make a recommendation to hire Taylor, Manette, Schneider, and Clutter law firm as corporation attorney for January of 26 through December of 26.
Can I get a motion to hire Taylor, Manette, Schneider, and Clutter Law Firm as the corporation attorney?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Number 4, before I make a recommendation on the calendars, I want to thank the calendar committee that was involved with this. I want to thank the admin team and some other stakeholders that were included to make sure that we're putting out a calendar that is in alignment with as much as we can with other corporations. We do that for one reason, for several reasons, but one of the biggest reasons is because of our CTE, our current technical education students. So when we're all pretty much in alignment like that, it enables our students to make sure that they're able to attend those classes and take part in the participation in that. So the only really major change, this is a 2-year calendar, so it'll be for school years 26, 27, 27, 28, is we will be going back to a full week at fall break. And then there are a couple flex days that we've changed around a little bit. One of those would be one of our flex days. And basically what a flex day means is that if we've utilized all of our e-learning days, then we would have a flex day. So with this one, it's in January. It would be MLK Day. That's consistent with other corporations in our area that are out on that day anyway. What that basically means is that we would have that day off, but if we would need to use a day, we would still utilize an e-learning day. So basically, the e-learning days are always going to be our first go-to, and those flex days are always the last ones on that. But 2-week spring break stays the same. Christmas 2 weeks stays the same. The Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Thanksgiving stays the same. So the way the calendar shifted, it allowed us to utilize some days a little bit better for this year and next year. But again, I want to thank everybody involved with that. They did a great job at coming up with a great calendar that I think provides great breaks for the students, for the families, and for the staff. So I can make a recommendation to approve the 26, 27, and 27, 28 school calendars.
Any questions? Can I get a motion to approve the 26, 27, and 27, 28 school calendars?
I'll make the motion.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Number 5, I'd like to make a recommendation to approve the February 23rd, 2026 personnel sheet.
Any questions? Just like to thank both of these individuals for their service. Can I get a motion to approve the February 23rd personnel sheet? I'll make a motion.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
For the financial status, so before combining, I just want to go over a few things, and I'll turn it over to Paul to go over a few things. So I like going over where we were a year ago and where we are right now with our, especially our education and operations fund. The operations fund is the one that is taking the biggest hit throughout the state of Indiana. I can tell you that we did lose some of that money with our last round of funds that we received from the auditor, which had been in December. We also lost money due to unpaid taxes. So that will be something that, we will be recouping some of that hopefully when we get it in June. But even with that, we're still doing really well in the operations fund. So last year we had $387,629 in operations. This year we have $589,713, so we are up about $200,000 in that fund. The rainy day fund, last year we had $1,876,888. Currently we have $1,778,038. The education fund last year we had $1,246,357. We currently have $1,638,810, so we're up about $400,000 in education. So I track this. We do everybody has to do what's called a Form 9. Angie does a great job at putting that all those numbers in. That goes to the state, the Office of Finance. So when I looked at where we were 2 years ago to where she just did this form that we closed out in January, our operations fund in 2 years is up 225%. And our education fund from 2 years ago is up 260%. So we're doing really well there. Paul?
Yeah, I put the cash flow for 2026 in front of you. So this is kind of an important meeting because we only have 1 month under our belt. And so we're forecasting the whole year. And I don't get too excited in January, February, or even March. I tend to wait 3 months out before I know pretty much where numbers are coming in. But it was good to see January because it came in kind of where we thought it would. And so I don't expect a lot of difference in the other 2 months, but we'll see where we are at the end of March and get a little more accurate. But I think it's important to note that you started your education fund with almost $1.6 million this year. And right now it's projected to end with a little more than $2 million. If that holds, that's really good, really good. And good news for Attica. The stability is great. And that stability comes from enrollment. That's what it's all about. If you lose students, you're going to lose money. But you heard him earlier say that you're up a couple students. Or February count, anytime it's higher than it was back in September, that's really good news because typically it goes the other way. The operations fund is the one that Matt was talking about. We took a hit there from people that didn't pay their taxes. So we're kind of anxiously awaiting May and June because a lot of those people will have paid and we should get money back then. But we don't know where that's going to be until it happens. But even then, when you look at a balance of starting the year in the operations fund with about $800,000 and projected to end with 1.1, that's good. And so if those numbers never changed, I mean, just stayed there without increasing in future years, you couldn't be happier. You know, you never know with the price of a school bus today and things like that. There are times your operations fund is going to lose some money because of technology, because of buses and whatever. But if we plan far enough ahead, we can make that work. So this is really a good forecast. You're in a great place financially, and I've got to hand it to you and your superintendent for putting yourself in that position.
Thanks. I'd like to make a recommendation to combine approved financial claims for the month of February and the monthly transfer amount of $55,000 from the education fund to the operations fund.
Can I get a motion to combine and approve the financial claims for the month of February and the monthly transfer amount of $55,000 from the education fund to operations fund?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Can I get a motion to adjourn? At 6:05. I move we adjourn.